So hello friends and welcome to Digimento. So we will start with unit 2 today. We were discussing the previous year questions but we are putting a hold to it. But today we will be starting with unit 2, which is research aptitude. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about research aptitude. Now the first module that we will take up is the meaning, research, the meaning, the types of research, the characteristics, positivism, post-positivistic approach to research. So these are the topics that we will discuss under module 1, okay, under research and methodology. So let's quickly start, and if you are already attending the session, let me know, okay. So accordingly we will start now, okay. Now, yeah. Hi Vanuja, hi Rani, hi Prasanna, hi Das. So am I audible to you? Is everything okay at your end? Because I am not getting the video, so okay. So are you able to hear me? Okay, now it's fine. Yeah, okay. So yeah. ZZ, how are you, ma'am? I'm okay. Yesterday I was not well. I'm sorry. Prasanna, yes. Hi, Rekha. Good evening. Yeah. So I think we will quickly start now. So this is our channel, and if you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to our channel, and also please press the bell icon for receiving the notifications. And if you are preparing for GATE, NTA UGC NET or PGT Computer Science, we are providing the online courses for the same. You can get the details of the courses from our website. So this is our website, that is www.digimento.com, or you can call to this number for getting more details about the courses that we provide, okay. So let's start now. So we will start with the meaning of research. So the first topic that we will be discussing is the meaning of research. Now if we can split this word into two, research into two, you will get re and search. So these are the two words that we will get from here. So what is meant by re? Re means again, or doing it again, or a new, or over again. And what is meant by search? Search means to examine very closely and carefully, and to test and try, not to probe. So searching means to examine very closely. So this is the meaning of the term search. Now what is research? So if you put this two things, re plus search, together, you will know what is research. So what is research? Research is a structured inquiry that utilizes acceptable scientific methodology to solve problems and create new knowledge that is generally applicable. Now there are a few points that you should remember. One is that research is a structured inquiry. So there is a specific structure for that. So it's a structured inquiry. Now it uses acceptable scientific methodology. So scientific, it is carried out in a scientific way. So it accepts or it utilizes acceptable scientific methodology. And why is research carried out? To solve the problems and to create new knowledge that is generally applicable. And it describes a careful, a systematic, a patient study and investigation in some field of knowledge undertaken to establish facts or principles. So research, it describes a careful and a systematic and a patient study and investigation in some field of knowledge, and in order to undertake some knowledge undertaken to establish facts or principles. So this is research. So doing it again to establish the fact. Now Puviri, hi. Lipika, hi. Good evening. Okay, yeah. Now a scientific method. Let's see what are the components of a scientific method. A scientific method consists of systematic observation, classification, interpretation of data, okay. And difference between research and non-research activity. a process must meet certain above requirements to be research. So these are some of the prerequisites to become a research. Okay, prerequisites. Systematic or scientific method of research, it consists of Lipika has commented, ma'am, today I am feeling very relaxed because you have started research. Okay, Lipika, thank you. And net set examination, very nice information. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. So the scientific method of these are the prerequisites for a scientific method of research. Systematic observation should be there. So observation should be very scientific and systematic. Then classification of data and the interpretation of data. Okay. Manaja, I need to Indian logic class. Actually, I will not be taking the logical reasoning sessions, but I'll just inquire it with the team as to whether we will start. Sorry, when will we start the logical reasoning classes? Okay. Now, how to these are all very simple things. That's why I'm not going into the detail. I think the most important part here is that you need to know what to study. So that's why I have prepared this material very carefully. I have done so much of research to prepare this material. So this material itself will be very good for you and sufficient for you. So this module is basically regarding the meaning of research and all. So it's not very complicated. That's why I'm not going into the details. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll explain it further. Otherwise, I think this space should be enough for this particular module. Okay. Now, let's see how to undertake a research study to find answers. First one, it is undertaken within a framework of set of a philosophy. So it is undertaken under the framework of a set of philosophies. Philosophy means certain approaches. So philosophy is certain approaches. Example, quantitative approach, qualitative approach, academic discipline. So these are all examples of certain approaches. Okay, I'm just reading out the comments. Step of research. Okay. Lipika ma'am, which unit you teach? I feel very happy regarding that unit. Thank you so much, Lipika. Thanks a lot. Vanaja, thank you. You're welcome, Vanaja. Shivaranjani, hi, good evening. Okay, so again regarding research, how to undertake research study. Second step is it uses procedures, methods and techniques that have been tested for their validity and reliability. So second thing is that it uses certain procedures, methods and techniques that have been tested for their validity and reliability. Now, what is the difference between validity and reliability? Validity means the validity of something. So, correct procedures have been applied to find answers to a particular question. So, this is validity. Valid, whether it is valid or not, whether it is relevant or not. Okay, validity means relevance. Now, second one is reliability. So, reliability is quality of a measurement procedure that provides a repeatability and accuracy. So, reliability is quality of a whether we can rely on it, whether we can depend on that. So this is what is called reliability. Okay. Now third point is that it is designed to be unbiased and objective. Unbiased means it should not be biased towards a particular thing. So it should be unbiased, then it should be objective. It should be done in an objective manner. Now let's see what is unbiased and objective. Have taken each step in an unbiased manner. Unbiased means without any partiality. Okay, without any partiality. Have taken each step in an unbiased manner and drawn each conclusion to the best of your ability and without introducing your own vested interest. So when I'll explain this a bit. So when the research is carried out, definitely the researcher will have his or her own interest. But while the research is carried out, this interest or vested interest should be kept aside, which means the researcher should act in a unbiased manner. Only then we will get the right result for the research. So the researcher should be unbiased. Now, adherence to the three criteria mentioned above enables the process to be called a research. So there are three criteria to be met, and if this three criteria is met, only then it becomes a research. First one is, as we said, it should be undertaken within a framework of a set of philosophies. So it should be undertaken within a framework of certain philosophies. It should have some approaches or philosophies. Second, uses procedures, methods and techniques that have been tested for their validity and reliability. So the procedures, methods and techniques that are used in the research, it should be tested whether it is valid or reliable. So whatever techniques, whatever methods are used in the research, it should be proven by testing that it is valid and reliable. Next, it has to be designed in an unbiased and objective manner without any partiality. So it should be designed in an unbiased manner and in an objective manner. So these are the three prerequisites for a research. Okay, I hope it's clear for you. Now let's see what are the characteristics of a research. First one is that it is controlled. So first one is that it is controlled. Now, in real life, many factors affect an outcome. So, in real life, there are many factors that affects an outcome, and it is set up a study in a way that minimizes the effects of other factors affecting the relationship. So, what is meant by controlled? Controlled, when research is carried out, it should be in a controlled manner, which means that the study has to be set up in such a manner that it minimizes the effect of other factors affecting the relationship. So one factor should not have a impact on the other. So that is why it should be in a controlled manner. That means one factor should not have an impact on the other. Okay, can be achieved to a larger extent in the physical sciences, as most of the research is done in laboratory. So how can we achieve this objective of control? It can be achieved to a larger extent in the physical sciences, as most of the research is done in the laboratory. Now, but in social sciences, we cannot control external factors and so attempt to quantify their impact. So, what happens? Now, if you take physical sciences, like science subjects, so physical or scientific research, this is called physical research or scientific research. So in case of scientific research, what you can do is you can carry out the research in a lab or a laboratory. So most of you are science students who have done your computer science. Now if you want to do some research, you can do it in a computer lab. In case of physics, chemistry or anything, any science subject, you can do your research in a laboratory which is in a controlled environment, which is controlled in the sense that it is without any external influence. But in case of social science, what happens? The research in social sciences is completely regarding the external factors. So there are chances of the research being affected by the external factors. So here the controlled manner, or how research can be controlled, done in a controlled manner, most of the time it cannot be implemented. So what happens? There is an attempt to quantify the impact of the external factors. So quantification, that means in terms of quantity. So quantification of external influence. Now, second thing, now we are discussing about the characters of research. Controlled manner. Second one, it should be rigorous. Rigorous means prepare rigorously. So, rigorous, it ensures the procedures followed to find answers to the question are relevant, appropriate and justified. So, this is the meaning of rigorous. So, it ensures that the procedures followed to find answers to the questions, they are relevant, appropriate and justified. So this is the meaning of rigorous. The degree of rigor varies between physical and social sciences and within the social sciences. Okay. which means that research, when it is carried out in physical science subjects like as we said, physics, biology, chemistry, computers, etc., then the rigorosity, the degree of rigor, it changes. So next, third point is that, third character of our research is that it should be systematic. So procedure adopted to undertake an investigation should follow a certain logical sequence. So the procedure that is adopted in order to undertake investigation. So whatever procedure is adopted to undertake the investigation under the research, it should follow a logical sequence. Okay. Next point is that it should be valid and verifiable. Sorry. So few more have joined. Shivani Joshi, reliability ensures validity. Yes, reliability ensures validity. Yes, it ensures validity because if it's reliable, it's valid. Then Rajan, good evening. Archana Maurya, good evening, Archana. Okay. Now, the next character of research is that it should be valid and verifiable. Validity of the research and verifiable. It should be verifiable. So here the basis of findings should be correct. So on what basis the findings are made? So basis of findings. On what basis the findings are made? So it should be correct and it shall be verified by others. Okay. Next is it should be empirical. So this means any conclusion drawn based upon hard evidence gathered from information collected from real life experiences or observation. So empirical means a conclusion which is drawn based upon evidence, hard evidence gathered from information collected from real life experience or observations. Okay. So which means realistic or real life experience. Now next one is critical. These are all very simple. That's why I'm not going into the explanation of any. So critical scrutiny of the procedures used and the methods employed is crucial. So critical scrutiny. Scrutiny means testing or scrutinization. Okay. So critical scrutiny of the procedures that are used and the methods employed is crucial, and the process of investigation must be foolproof and free from drawbacks. So investigation must be very transparent and it should be free from any drawbacks, and the process and the procedures used must be able to withstand critical scrutiny. So the procedures and the processes that used in the research, so procedures and the process used in research must be able to withstand scrutiny. Now, this is important, okay? Now, these are the types of research. This is important for you. You can have a look first, then we will explain. So, you can have a look at it first because you need a clarity before we start, okay? So, you can just look at it. Ilavarasi Senthil. Senthil, hi, good evening. So I hope you have looked into it. So let's see what are the types of research. Okay. First is based on application. Second one based on objectives. Third is based on inquiry. So first one based on application. Second one based on objectives. And third one is based on inquiry mode. So based on the application, Research can be pure or applied research. So this is one type of classification, and based on the objectives of the research, it can be descriptive research, it can be correlational research, or it can be explanatory or exploratory. So based on the objectives of the research. Now based on the inquiry mode means the way or the method of investigation. So based on the method of investigation, it can be structured or unstructured. So these are the different types. We will see each of them. Okay. First one is based on application. So we will see the first one. Based on the application, as we said, research can be of two types: pure research and applied research. So first one is pure research. So it's a fundamental type of research, which means the basic type. Okay. It involves developing and testing theories and hypotheses that are intellectually challenging to the researcher. So it involves developing and testing of hypotheses and theories which are intellectually challenging to the researcher. It may or may not have a practical application at the present time or in the future. That's why it's called a pure research. So purely it's research. It is just to find something. So it is all focused on findings. So it is all based on findings. So it may not have a practical application. So it may or may not have a practical application in the present or in the future. Then knowledge produced is sought in order to add to the existing body of research methods. So knowledge produced is sought in order to add to the existing body of research method. So this is purely research. There is no practical application. This is just for the sake of doing some research. It doesn't have any practical application. So it is just for doing the research to add to the knowledge. Why do we do research? To add to our knowledge, to find out something. So basically research is to find out something, but most of the times research will have its practical applications, in the sense that whatever we have found, whatever knowledge that we gained will be applied to something, some real life experiences or some real life needs. But here it's a purely kind of for research purpose and to gain knowledge. Okay. Next is applied research. So based on application, we have the second one. It is action research. Action means there is a practical use to it. It is done to solve specific practical questions for policy formulation, administration, and undertaking of a phenomenon. So applied research, it is done to solve specific and practical questions for policy formulation, administration, and understanding of a particular phenomenon. So this is applied research. So here what is given importance? The practicality of the research. So practicality is given importance. So here the focus is to apply whatever knowledge we have gained in the research in real life. This is exploratory but usually descriptive. So applied research is exploratory but usually descriptive, and we will see what is exploratory and what is descriptive. It is always done on the basis of basic research. So it's done on the basis of basic research. So first the basic research will be carried out, and based on that only applied research is done. Shivani Joshi, if you can provide example for this research. Okay, I'll give you. Okay. See, in many cases you must have seen in journals and all, there are many research which will not have any practical application. The objective is only to gain some knowledge. So such type of research is there. Now I'll give you an example of applied research, then I think you will get more idea. Last year, if you remember, two economists, actually three economists, they got the Nobel Prize, and one was from India. So he is not from India, but he has an Indian origin. His name is Abhijit Banerjee. Abhijit Banerjee, along with his wife Duflo, they got the Nobel Prize in Economics. So the Nobel Prize was for their research. So the research was actually to find out how the government is providing a lot of incentives. The government is providing many schemes, social schemes, for example midday meal scheme, such type of schemes the government is providing. So their research was based on how to improve the efficiency of those schemes, especially in rural areas. So they conducted the research in Rajasthan and Punjab. So they found out that if the government can incentivize these schemes, for example midday meal scheme, this was one example given there, where they conducted the research. So for example, midday meal scheme. So for example, if the student is attending the classes, then the students will be given 5 kilogram of rice every month. So if such incentives are attached to certain social objectives, then the efficiency of the efficiency in achieving these social objectives will improve. So this research had a practical use. So they had find out something, they gained some knowledge, some research was carried out and they found out something, but it also has some practical use. It is not just limited to the papers, but it has got a practical use. This is called applied research. Now, if the research is only to gain knowledge and if there is no practical use, then it is called pure research. I hope you got it now. Shivani and Lipika, ma'am, please explain action research. Action research is nothing but practical use, which means that whatever findings the research have made, it has a practical use. Prasanna, give example for pure application. Pure, it's not pure application, it's pure research. Pure research means without practical application, just to gain knowledge. Shivani, fundamental research. Fundamental means basic research, means what is that? Basic research, like, you know, the fundamental, the necessary things, or the fundamental means, what is that? How can I explain that? Like basic, okay, basic research. Now, based on the objectives, again we can classify the research. First one is descriptive research. Second one is correlational research. So first let's see descriptive research. So descriptive research attempts to describe systematically a situation. So here the purpose is to describe systematically a situation, a problem, a phenomenon, a service or program, or provides information about the living condition of a community, or describes attitude towards an issue. So this is descriptive research. Okay, means here the purpose is description. Now, descriptive research means it attempts to describe systematically a situation. So here the purpose is to describe a situation or a problem or a phenomenon or a service or a program, and it provides information about the living condition of a community, or describes attitude towards an issue. So descriptive means it tries to describe a particular situation or a particular problem or a particular program, etc. Now, correlational research is done to discover or establish the existence of a relationship between two or more aspects of a situation. Now, for example, poverty, unemployment, low standard of living. Now, there are many aspects to low standard of living. Unemployment is one aspect. If there is unemployment, the standard of living will be less. Poverty, then hunger. So there are many aspects to low standard of living. Now, within that, see, poverty and unemployment are connected to each other. If the unemployment rate is high, then the poverty rate also will be high. So such a way, correlational research means that it helps to discover or establish the existence of a relationship between two or more aspects of a situation. So in a particular situation, relationship or the interrelation between two or more aspects of a situation. Okay, this is correlational research. Next one is explanatory research. Okay, any doubts? No. Okay, explanatory research. Explanatory means explaining, explanatory. So it attempts to clarify why and how there is a relationship between two or more aspects of a situation or a phenomenon. So why or how there is a relationship between two or more aspects of a situation. Now, in the previous one, that is in the correlational research, we said that in a particular situation there must be 2-3 aspects or more than that, and how they are interrelated to each other. The objective is only to find out how they are interrelated. But when it comes to explanatory research, it tries to explain the correlation or the relationship between two or more aspects of a situation or a phenomenon. Okay, so this is explanatory research. Now next we have exploratory research. Okay, explanatory, next is exploratory. So here exploratory research. It is undertaken to explore an area where little is known or to investigate the possibilities of undertaking a particular research study. So exploratory, it means to explore. Suppose for example in a particular field of research, now for example cosmic rays. I'm just giving you an example, okay, because this year they won the Nobel Prize. So just giving that example. Suppose there is very little information or knowledge available with regard to cosmic rays. So in this situation, an exploratory research will be carried out. Now here the purpose is that only very little knowledge is available. So we have to increase the we have to increase the knowledge level. So for that research is carried out. This is exploratory, and it can be also in the sense that if suppose we need to study whether research can be carried out or not, then also exploratory research can be done. Now Lipika is asking me examples related to examples. I cannot give you specific examples. See, okay, descriptive research, as we said, to describe a particular situation or a problem. Then a correlational, I have given you the example. Then explanatory also I gave you the example. So in case of a correlation, we are explaining how it is correlated. So clarification is given, and exploratory I gave you the example. Okay. Now I'll take up the doubts now. If you have any doubts, put it now. Any doubts? Any doubts? Anybody? Any other doubts? So any other doubts? No. No doubts. If you have any doubts, put it now. So any doubts, anybody? No, clear. So okay, so no doubt. Okay. Okay, I'll just finish this. Now, Based on inquiry, we can again classify research into structured approach and unstructured. Now, structured means it's a quantitative research. Now, what is meant by quantitative research? Quantity means in terms of quantity or numbers. Quantitative research is in terms of quantity or numbers. So, quantitative research. Now, we will see what is the research process here. Research process. The objectives, design, sample and the questions that you plan to ask for respondents are predetermined. So here in the research process, the objective of the research, the design, how the research needs to be carried out regarding the sample, who are the sample population, the questions that you plan to ask, all these are predetermined, which means before carrying out the research. All these are predetermined. Okay. And it is appropriate to determine the extent of a problem, issue or a phenomena by quantifying the variation. Quantifying means putting it in numbers. Now, example is how many people have a particular problem. So, if you are conducting a research, then in absolute numbers, in terms of absolute numbers, you are putting the research. It is quantifiable or quantitative research or structured approach. Next we have unstructured approach. So in unstructured approach we are following a qualitative research. Now here the objective is to describe the variation in a phenomena. So here the objective is to find out the variation, that is any change. So here it's not quantitative or it's not in terms of numbers, but it is relative. Why relative? Because we are comparing the variation. Any change has taken place or not. So here the objective of the research is to describe the variation in a phenomena. And it allows flexibility in all aspects of the research process. So here we will get much flexibility. Can you tell me what is the reason? Why flexible? Because in the earlier case, that is in case of quantitative research, we have seen that everything is predetermined or pre-planned, predetermined. Now here it's not predetermined, therefore there is a lot of space for flexibility. And it's appropriate to explore the nature of a problem, issue or a phenomena without quantifying it. Without putting the issue in terms of numbers, we can explore the issue and carry out the research. Now, example of unstructured approach or qualitative research is historical enumeration of events. So, to find out the historical events like the chronology or how things have happened in the history. So, all these are the examples of unstructured approach or the qualitative research. Now, Shivani has asked me this question. Field research or field survey will come under descriptive research. Now, field study can come under anything, because field study is just that you are going to the spot to collect the data and all. So, it can happen in anywhere. But one more thing I want to clarify here. The problem with research methodology is that maybe when you study a particular portion, you will not get complete understanding. But trust me, once you complete the entire thing, then you will have a clear-cut idea about what it is. Because see, when I am taking something, then sometimes we come across certain terms which needs to be explained further. So that we cannot take it then, because then the class will get diverted. So when we complete the entire research methodology, I am sure that all the questions will be okay for you. All the questions will be doable for you. So this is one problem with research. When you take up a particular portion, you feel that there is no connection and then you will not have that clarity. But once you have finished the entire thing, then I am sure that will give you clarity. So with that we will conclude today. So tomorrow we will take up the remaining rest of it. Please go through whatever we have learned today, so that tomorrow if you have any doubts, we will clear them first and then carry out. Okay. So yeah, tomorrow I'll see you tomorrow. You take care and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.